So guys, what am I going to do? The battle replay. So, I haven't done many of these, but I'm going to try and do some more. And I'm also going to try to play some more Shogun this week as well, so I can get some battles up. But meantime, please send them in. Great help. it's good. I actually prefer watching other people's battles because it's pretty interesting. So as you can see, this one will be Brooticus versus. That's probably like the French way of saying Simon. I'm not even sure, but we'll call him Simon. So this map, Our Ridge Pass. Our Ridge Pass. I swear I haven't played like most of the maps, because there's always some new map which I have not played. But then again, I haven't even been playing this for like several months, so well, playing it properly anyway. I mean, I did get this game the day it came out, but this will be a traditional versus traditional. Brooticus told me that this guy was a 5 gold, and Brooticus I think is probably the same rank as me. He must be probably 7 or 8 bronze. I think he's the same rank. Unfortunately, I don't really play Shogun 2 online as much anymore, so I mean my rank did shoot straight up, but for some reason, because I haven't really been playing very much, I seem to have stuck at the kind of bronze 8 for a good while by now. Don't want the graphics. What do I want? Battle interface, that's it. Always put that on so I can see the stats. And we should get kicking into the battle. So he's bought 2 Nagi attendants, he's bought some Tokitaka Tengashima. Okay, so they're like a hero matchlock unit. What they lack in their kind of number, they sort of make up for in their stats, but my vetted up monk units are just as good. Actually no, they're better because they got 40 reload skill. But I mean, he's just starting them out, so fair enough. He's got some bow samurai, which is good because it gives him a little bit further range. He's then got 2 Nodachi samurai. These guys are good. Always bring these guys to a battle. He's got, what is it, sweet shop discount and just some Nodachi. He's then also got chunky burritos, which is going to be his katana samurai. He's also got Turkish delight. I'm not a big fan of Turkish delight, I have to say, but this guy obviously does love it. Then got Brootsy, who is melee. Why is he melee? I don't know, maybe he's ranking him up in leadership. I'd always rank up a leadership general rather than anything else. And then he's got Raisins, which will be his Yari Ashigaru. He's then also got some Yari Cav, what's that? Domo, Origato, and Mr. Roboto. Let's go over to his opponent. So his opponent's got some Nagi attendants also. You'd be a fool not to bring Nagi attendants. Yes, they're a crap unit. Yes, they cost probably about 200 koku, but they are extremely effective as being a meat shield and basically just absorbing charges. He's then got, I think, 3 Naginata samurais and also got 2 Naginata warrior monks, and then he's got, I'm just gonna say Simon. His general's called Simon. He's then also, I think, got 2 Great Guard Cav units and some Dondabust. Those guys, in my opinion, are the new dicks of Shogun. They just deal with a crazy amount of damage. And I would just like to point out, this is a very nice colour scheme. I love this. This is very, very nice. I might have to steal this for one of my veteran units, but it looks very good. So the oh, there we go. Great Guard. So the highly contested buildings we shall be fighting over today will be the archery dojo, which is no relevance at all apart from the Dondabust Cav to Simon, and the farmhouse, which is very much contested. If you hadn't noticed, yes, I was being sarcastic. This is pretty crap, but I'd probably favour it over the archery dojo in this particular battle. So Brute's gonna pull up his Yari Cav to the side. This is bad positioning because this is Great Guard. These guys will demolish any Cav unit. But oh well, we're gonna go for it anyway. So he's charging uphill, which isn't really too favourable, but I suppose he hasn't really got much of an option. What I would have said is charge in 1 Yari Cav first to begin with, and absorb that charge, and then swing round your other Cav to hit from behind. That way you effectively get 2 charges off. 1 if the first one failed. But I mean, he still did a very good job. This is pretty darn good. You took out pretty much a whole Great Guard unit with minimal losses. That's not really too bad considering it was Great Guard. However, he now does. Oh, the Dondabust have revealed themselves. These guys are basically just samurai on horseback with shotguns. Could you get any more of a deadly combination than that? So these guys deal a ton of damage. I'd always do best to stay away from them at all points. But if I'm pretty honest as well, I probably would have just charged straight out with these guys. It's either, because their range is so short, they can either just get one shot off while you're charging at them, and then they'd have to run, which they'll get caught up with, or they have to run away, like they are doing now. Unfortunately, he has kind of got Brute pinned down in this centre with Great Guard on one flank and then Donderbust on the other. Now, Brute breaks off the attack here. This is bad move. Brute, keep on running at him, because what's going to happen now is going to turn back. And this is the problem with ranged cavalry, is that they can just have this ability to kite you all day long. And now what they're going to do is they're going to run in, sling out their shotguns, and watch this. Just a sea of blood in a second. Bang! Ouch! These guys just got hammered. That's half the unit down automatically. He did get some shots off with his own matchlock and his bow. But going back to this point though, just keep on charging. He was beginning to catch the Donderbust up. As you can see, the Donderbust has got no support on this flank. He could charge these guys all day long. He could chase them down, whatever, keep them out of the battlefield. He's got enough spear units to protect his army. And unfortunately, he did have a micro lapse for a second, and Simon's Great Guard managed to get in with, I think, no losses, or one loss. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. I mean, he just took out one of Brooticus's Yari Cav. This is a pretty bad move, unfortunately, for Brooticus. He probably could have avoided that, but, you know, I mean, you can't avoid everything in life. My micro isn't perfect. And then he's just going to charge straight back in. See, I mean, again, going all the way back to this point, the Yari Cav is a very quick unit. I think it's possibly the quickest, or one of the quickest cavalry units in the game, so charging down, I don't know, Bow Cav or Donderbust Cav, it will easily catch him up. He was beginning to catch up. He can't let these guys turn back around. If he's already got their backs turned, he might as well just carry on charging them. So I can't really stress that enough. If you're charging Donderbust down with Yari Cav, they either have to retreat straight away to avoid losses, or they have to shoot and then they'll just sustain loads of losses. So really, you can easily counter Donderbust with other Cav when you think about it. But he's just going to peel back. Now, for Simon, what I'd say is this is pretty poor targeting. I mean, he's gone for Nagi Attendants. This is exactly why you bring Nagi Attendants to a battlefield, is to soak up hits. And unfortunately, Simon has targeted the meat shield. I mean, fair enough, if the meat shield's all you can target, by all means, go for it. But really, if I were him, I would have pulled the Donderbust right back round and probably would have targeted Brooticus as general, or I would have started ripping into his discount, his sweet shop discount. You know, start ripping into some proper units which are really going to deal with the damage, and they're kind of the meat of Bruticus's army. That really would have been useful, and the frontal approach probably wasn't the best idea, as Brooticus has got matchlock and also ranged units. So I would have selected my targets a lot better if I was Simon. Try and go for higher profile units. It's the same with the fire rockets in the 3v3. Don't waste them on pretty stupid units like, you know, Nagi Attendants. Go for something that's dealing a lot of pain. Maybe these Tokitakas. That's quite a funny name actually, Tokitake. But yeah, I mean, go for high units like sword infantry, ones that are really going to deal a lot of damage. I mean, you saw that these Donderbust managed to completely wipe out one of these Nagi Attendant units in about 2 shots. I mean, if you get one of those shots off on Bruticus's katana units, I mean, they'll be completely demoralised, and also, well, they won't be completely demoralised, but they will, you know, they won't really benefit at all. You know, they'll be down probably about a third, and really, this would be very, very devastating for him. So Brooticus is in a really dodgy position, so Simon does take advantage of it, which is good, but unfortunately for Simon, his unit composition with Naginatas means that he has to play a very defensive game. He can't afford to charge. But what he did is that he managed to charge down the hill. Brooticus made an excellent move here. What he did, he charged up his Nagi attendants, and then he fired into the backs of them with his Tokitakas, which is an excellent move, and then he charged the rest of his sword infantry in, which was a very good idea, because that would have put all of his spear units out of position. These guys have got very, very high melee defense. They've got 18 melee defense. That's retarded. You know, I mean, these guys have got some fairly decent stats, and they will hold their own. I mean, I completely underestimate. Oh, really? Shattered with only 20 men lost. Ashigaru, you should be ashamed of yourself. But I mean, yeah. Given that Brooticus has kind of got a very kind of charging army with all this Nodachi and Katana, it would have been very hard for him to actually make any advancements. Now, he did get very lucky, I have to admit. When I was watching this in the replay, I was shitting myself. I was not expecting Brooticus to win this at all, because all of his guys have got very, very low morale, and it's just, you know, these units are pretty decent. But I think that was more a mistake on Simon's part. If I was Simon, I would have just stayed up on this hill. I would have stayed right at the top, kept Brooticus at bay with my Donderbust, hitting around the sides, getting the high profile units, and I pretty much just would have just shot Brooticus down to just a few men, force Brooticus forward, and he would have had to charge up this hill with a depleted army, Great Guard at his back, into basically a defensive wall of Naginata, and I'm pretty sure Simon would have won then. So I thought it was a little bit too hasty by Simon. He could have targeted a lot better with his Donderbust, but, you know, I mean, shit happens, I suppose. It was a very good battle. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. I do love watching Brooticus' battles. They do seem to be pretty decent. So yeah, I mean, what I'd probably say though, yeah, I mean, just make sure you use your Donderbust properly. Really, they got short range, so always be careful of kind of cavalry units like Yari or Katana. Katana won't do as much damage, but I mean, they'll still chase him down and pin him, and they will get a lot of kills actually off Donderbust. So, result screen. There you go. Actually, I do love that about Shogun, is that it's only small little matches. I mean, they only last about 10 minutes normally. Oh, the winner is me. So, unit stats, let's go into these. Nodachi, cleaned house, katanas, fish tacos. Oh, good. These guys are racking in the kills. Even the Tokitakas, they're doing pretty decent. Donderbust Cav are incredibly OP. 125 kills, how does that even work? But yeah, I mean, he definitely probably could have used them a little bit better to effect. I mean, if you look at the experience, Simon has got a lot better sort of units than Brooticus. He probably could have used them a tad better. But, you know, I mean, as I said, you can't always be perfect. And he did get a very good charge off on Brooticus. So we've enjoyed that one. And yeah, I'll do another one in a minute now. I'll do another one.